Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 6 of season 2 of the Star Wars Shadow Collective podcast, which Lord knows I've messed that name up enough times. But hey, welcome anyway.
It's our show. We can mess it up if we want, okay?
Hope everybody's been good past couple weeks. As usual, I'm here with my good friends Andy Beads and Swampgrass. How are you both doing today?
Hello. I'm doing good.
Hi. Good. How are you doing?
We're here to talk Star Wars. How could it not be good?
We're here to talk about Star Wars. Are you sure?
Oh, possibly.
Okay. All right.
But it has been for the last weeks that we didn't have a lot to talk about. Oh, there's a lot to talk about this week.
We got a lot of Star Wars thrown up at us.
And here it comes.
Get your buckets.
Wow.
Oh,
Great
boy.
Visuals, guys. Great visuals.
Hey, we're gonna start this off right.
You gotta be colorful, you know.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna start. I think we're gonna start. We're gonna jump right into the list here, and first story comes out of Star Wars News Net, and it's talking about Asajj Ventress. And as you know, we've seen her in the Bad Batch trailer, so we're still looking forward to when we're going to see her pop up. She hasn't shown up yet.
I predict it'll be the next episode.
I was going to get into that a little later, but I kind of agree with you.
I'll bring it back up again later.
Yeah. Let's talk about that after we go through whatever that is. See, episode 7 or 6 or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, so starting the story, it says, most surprising detail in the Bad Batch's initial trailer was the reveal that Asajj Ventress is back and still alive. Since then, we've been dying to know more and are still waiting for the Night Sister to pop up in the series at the time of writing. It says, well, Asajj's voice actor, Nika Futterman, attended Planet Comic-Con KC recently and apparently teased that Ventress' story certainly won't be ending with the Bad Batch. Via Screen Rant, she told a fan that the character's upcoming return in the Bad Batch is just an appetizer when compared to future stories. And as for what those future projects might be, that's anyone's guess. While it seems unlikely that we might get an animated show centered around Asajj Ventress, could it be that Dave Filoni intends to give her a live-action debut in one of the Mandoverse projects, like The Mandalorian Grogu, Ahsoka Season 2, or the other movie intended to act as the culmination of it all? Though if he did, it would remain to be seen if Nika Futterman will be involved in that depiction of the character. Honestly, I hope none of that happens. because I mean, let's face facts. I mean, end of the day, technically she was killed off. I understand that they bring her back and it's a flashback to something, or maybe we're looking at a holocron or something. Anything, but to sit here and suddenly after seeing her die, and we have a dead body, so it's not like we can just sit there and say, well, there's no body, so did she really die? No, she's dead.
Yeah.
Where do we go with this? If we want to do some stuff that's earlier, maybe crack into the early roots of Asajj Ventress, okay, yeah, I'm down for that. I'd love to see how she was discovered by Dooku, how she was trained, Maybe show us some of the bounty hunter projects she actually did do. I'm down for that as well. But let's end the story where it's supposed to have ended. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
I think the most logical story that we're gonna see here, I think, is that the rumored, like they're saying here, the Tales of the Sith animated series or whatever it is. I think that's the most logical thing we're gonna see. Like they did say that the story that we're seeing in the Bad Batch is not going to do anything to what happened in the Dark Disciple novel and all that stuff, right? So they're not going to change anything. So I think the Tales of the Sith is probably the most logical thing, and that'd be cool. I mean, that'd be, and the same way we saw, Dooku with Mace and or not Mace. Was it Mace or was it Qui-Gon? One of the two, I can't remember. But that early stuff with I can see that happening with her former Jedi Master. How Count Dooku found her, yada yada. Or it could still go to the Tales of the Bounty Hunters as well, because she was in both worlds, right? So,
right.
You never know. Like, so I mean, but that's probably the most logical thing I can see.
Yeah, that does make sense. I guess I guess we'll have to see, because we still don't know like exactly in what capacity we're gonna see her here in Bad Batch.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we'll have to wait and see for that.
Yeah. It's
But that is cool. Like, I don't know. I like Ventress. I think she's cool.
well, we all like Ventress, and when that popped up in the trailer, I mean, I almost fell off my chair. Like, it was great. I loved it because I'm a huge Night Sister fan, as some of you guys know. So, Ventress was in a lot of Clone Wars, which is one of my favorite TV shows. So it was, it was quite the thing to see her come back, or not come back, but you know what I mean. She's
appear in
right, and it's cool to see her, the way that she looks and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see. But
yeah, with hair. What's going on?
With hair. I miss the old bald scalp though, but hair's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. We'll be okay.
It'll be all right.
All right. All right. So moving on to the next story, because we do have a lot to cover today.
Yeah.
Good news came in this week when we found out that Rogue Squadron is suddenly back in development. Apparently Patty Jenkins is back on board, after we had been told pretty much creative differences had taken her off the project to begin with. I don't know what happened that suddenly things went right, but suddenly she's back on, and this movie is suddenly back in development, and I, for one, am very excited for this one.
I was gonna say, Eldor, how do you feel about this? Because we knew before when this was happening, you were probably the most giddy about this movie so.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime you can sit there and match Star Wars and Top Gun, and right, she pretty much led to the idea that that's what she wants to make. I mean, how can you not be on board with this? I mean, Rogue Squadron was one of the great runs of novels that they made back in the day. There were other characters that came up that I was excited to see, and I mean, I would love to see them bring Corran Horn in, see more Wedgie Antilles, just really excited for what they can do here. And if they do it right, this doesn't have to just be one movie. So, and you could put this into any period. I mean, you could put it back to the period when they were when Luke Skywalker and Wedge developed Rogue Squadron, you could bring it out to the early periods, like the Mandoverse area, where who knows what they're doing at that point. You can even push this out to a future period, like where the new Rey movies are. Maybe we do have at some point. Maybe they are gonna tease a Yuuzhan Vong invasion somewhere, which would be great because there were fights. I mean, if I remember correctly, there were great fights between them and Rogue Squadron. I would love to see all of it. So, I mean, there's a lot you could do with Rogue Squadron if it's done well, and
Right.
and I'm just excited for that. And it doesn't have to necessarily push into the Jedi narrative.
No, and I don't think it should. And I think I'd be most excited to see the main. And I don't like. I'd love to see the whole Wedge Rogue Squadron stuff. I mean, I just don't know how you have Wedge and not have Luke as well. So I don't know how they would work around that. Probably the whole how they're doing it now with the younger Luke Skywalker being in the Mando stuff. But I think it'd be the coolest to see it in that era with the Wedge and with Luke. But it seems like we were kind of misinformed about this too. Like it almost like when it was called off, I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's canceled. It's canned. It's gone. It's not." I'm pretty sure like we were like, "Oh, they're not going through with it anymore." But she said that it was put on the ship, like she was going to do Wonder Woman 3 and then started working on that, and then the Wonder Woman 3 didn't go through. So then, but they made a deal for the Rogue Squadron movie.
Before the strikes, it says.
Yeah, before the strike. So then the
So
strike
and then
happens.
we didn't even hear about that when they were talking about the the schedule of upcoming movies and all that kind of stuff. So that makes me think like, what is the deal here? Like, where does this fit into all that?
And that's it too, yeah. Because I mean, like, so now, but I mean, they're like don't even have a draft for the thing, so it doesn't even seem like it's like in there. So now it to me it seems like it's being thrown in there with what's his face? Don't say his name. You know who I'm talking about though.
Yes.
Well, no, I think there's one small difference is that he who shall not be named decided he needed to come out with information every week and drive us nuts.
TW.
Yeah. We hadn't heard anything from Patty Jenkins. As far as we knew, this thing was scrapped. It was over.
That's it. Yeah.
And we're now finding out that it's back. Maybe at one point it was over. Maybe they just decided, hey, we'll get back to this, but like it says here, the strike had begun. So they don't have a draft because they weren't allowed to write anything.
Right, exactly.
So
yeah.
I understand, but at the same time, they could have threw something out there. Well, we did make the deal happen. We gotta wait till the strike's over, but we will be eventually working on Rogue Squadron.
They could have told us. They could have told us something. You know what I mean? Like instead of telling a lot of excited people about a Rogue Squadron movie that is not happening, you're like, oh, that's so misleading.
I mean, it's kind of a tough road. I mean, I gotta say, I mean, I don't even know where to go with that. But I mean, most importantly, I'm just happy to hear that it's still happening. Because
it's still happening. Yep.
I mean, at this point, when we were very unsure about what movies were going to happen, we have 3 that we're sure of right now. Now 4.
Well,
potentially 5, but we won't talk about him.
The Lando movie.
Yeah, the Lando movie. Okay, then the 6 that we won't talk about because we're not allowed to talk about it.
We're not allowed to talk about his name. No, not until we get some clear evidence that this is
real. Yeah,
that's fair.
That don't say his name again, okay?
Yeah.
But yeah.
But to me, exciting news. Congrats, I don't
No,
think
and it's exciting all around. Like I agree with you. I'm excited too. Like I do want to see this movie. Like it does sound appealing. It does sound really cool. Top Gun kind of style, X-wing fighting. Like yeah, who doesn't want to see that? As long as it's done well. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
and especially if there's a lot of dogfighting and everything. I'm so on board for that.
yeah. Right.
But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I'm just utterly excited. I can't wait for the time when we finally get a trailer for it, because that's gonna be an exciting day. But that's a ways off, so I'll stop talking about that now.
First one there.
I just might. You never know. But
25 years from now when it comes out, maybe.
25 years.
hey, I might be standing there with a walker, but I'll get there.
Oh yeah, it would be nice to know like when stuff is actually coming out. But yeah, I guess we'll see.
Right.
I guess we'll see. Maybe next year they'll just be like boom, 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 like 3 movies in a row or something. That would be sick.
That'd be a little crazy, but I don't know, we'll see what happens. But again, in the spirit of moving along with a lot of news,
Yes.
Hey, we want to take on the next one, or?
Yeah, I can go for the next one here.
All right.
You got her?
So, Brendan Wayne, they had Star Wars Newsnet. I think that was them that had the interview with him. I'm not sure or not, but it was put out by Star Wars Newsnet. Brendan Wayne, no word on the Mandalorian season 4 yet. Pedro Pascal will be in the Mandalorian Grogu movie. So, the Mandalorian stunt double Brendan Wayne is out and about trying to calm the masses with regards to certain misinformation rumors spreading online. Speaking to Screen Rant. Okay, so it's Screen Rant did the interview. The actor discussed the potential of a 4th season of the Disney Plus series now that The Mandalorian and Grogu will be coming to theaters, and also Pedro Pascal's involvement with the movie. So I think before they were saying there's a lot of speculation going around that Pedro Pascal will probably not be in this movie because, it was confirmed that he is playing Reed. What's his last name? For the Fantastic Four.
Reed Richards.
Yeah.
Reed Richards, yeah, there we go. So he's going to be
Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic, yeah, in the new Fantastic Four movie coming out. So there's a lot of he's not going to be able to do it, and The Last of Us and all this stuff, and he's a busy man. So back when the movie was announced a couple months ago, questions started circulating around the internet regarding the once planned 4th season of The Mandalorian, with the title character now coming to the big screen. Does that mean there will be no season 4 of the show? So he was asked a few days ago. Well, not a few days ago now. I guess so. March 15th. So I'm glad you asked this, because this is a lot of clickbait that's out there. That's like, hey, he said there's no season 4. That's John and Dave and Iger and those guys. I don't even get to walk by the room. This is him saying that. Now, that said, me personally, and I'm clearly not ahead of the studio, I don't know how you don't have the movie and then make sure there's a season 4, because Disney Plus, John and Dave with The Mandalorian, that was the foundation of that. I don't know that there's another piece that is as strong. I know for a fact there isn't, because we were the most watched show again last year. That's a big deal to me. So, I mean...
Yeah, I think I definitely had, previous to that, read an article that said oh, it's not happening, says the stunt double and all this stuff, and then it was just blown out of proportion, and you could tell that. And then that's what he's talking about. He's just trying to clear the air. He's like, I don't have that kind of information, guys.
Yeah, he's a stunt double. He doesn't have that kind of, let alone, he's one of the more famous stunt doubles around, but he's still a stunt double.
Even the actors aren't generally privy to all that stuff either.
But I mean, it does make sense though. Like how do you not continue? I guess with the season 4. You know what I mean? Like I can see it. It's just there's so much going on with Star Wars right now. Like they need to like kind of fit it in there somewheres, but and where they're pushing all these movies now, seems like some of the TV shows are kind of taking a back burner right now. So, but I mean, who knows? Like season 4 could come out at any point. But another unanswered question about the upcoming movie relates to Pedro Pascal's involvement with the movie, and Wayne quickly dismissed the query. Come on, of course, everyone's so busy about it. It's like, how about we just focus on the movie? It's silly. Is he busy? Does he have a bunch of projects? Of course. Will they work around his schedule? Yes. It's no different than Rosario Dawson was. So I guess she was doing stuff during Ahsoka as well. I take it that's where that came from.
I guess.
Imagine. I mean, she's a pretty, she's pretty up there in the list as well for actors, right? So she was probably busy at the same time. But I mean, yeah, you're basing. It's a little easier for a show to kind of not use the actor inside of a costume with the helmet, and you got two guys that are kind of mimic the whole, his stunt doubles that kind of do the whole thing. It's a little easier to do in Mandalorian than it is Rosario Dawson. I guess, I don't know. It's kind of, it's a little different, but I mean,
yeah, but I would imagine in big movie sets and big projects like that, there's a lot of time in between where, not every actor has to be there every single day kind of thing. So sure, there's room to work around it a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
but what do you think, Elder?
At the beginning of the day, I mean, the first thing I'm going to say to myself is, outside of this right here, how often do we even talk to stunt doubles about any of this stuff? I mean, this is like one of those rare occurrences where, I mean, the stunt double has become big enough that he can come in and he can actually have a say, and not like have a say in what's going on, but like people are interested in what he has to say about it. The average stunt double, it's like
the media.
Who's this guy? So I mean, number one, sure. I'm glad to see that he's in this position. That being said, I mean, there's a couple of things we have to assume. I mean, obviously, yeah. I mean, we don't know what's going on with season 4. We don't know what's necessarily going on with the movie, but I think that's coming down to important details of, number one, did Favreau take season 4 and make that the basis of his movie, at which point he has to now pen a new season 4? Or did he have to pen this movie to fit into the timeline to work along with season 4? So
yeah.
And that's the one thing that we really haven't, nobody's really answered yet. And until we get an answer on how that's going to go, we don't know where this is going to be. I mean, who knows? Yeah. I mean, if he's penning the movie to fit into the season 4 timeline, then yeah, he's probably ready to do work on that season as soon as it's ready to go. We bring in Pedro for the movie, all goes well, and we're on and we're moving forward. If he took season 4 and turned it into the movie, number one, good on him, because let's try to do season 4. It's actually gonna have hour-long episodes, and yeah, I'm gonna always push for that. And can actually work along with what's going on. Don't get me wrong, this new season could be spectacular, but if you're turning it into a movie, let's find a way to move forward and work it into the rest of the story.
So yeah,
that's all I got.
We'll have to stay tuned to Brandon Wayne and what he has to say about it.
Everybody make sure you guys follow his socials, because he seems to have more information than other people do. So my question, I'm reading the rest of this here kind of, and so the Fantastic Four is supposed to go in production either late this summer or early in the fall. So does it mean they're starting filming, or is that just production? And does it And if it starts filming, are we expecting? Is there a release date for Fantastic Four? Do we know? I'm not sure if there is or not.
It's
I mean,
next year. I want to say it's next
so,
summer.
So if it's next summer and Mandalorian Grogu is 2026, that's what it says at the bottom. They're targeting for a May 22nd, 2026 release. Like
I just looked it up. It says July 25th, 2025.
Yeah. So they could easily, like, he could easily do the Mandalorian Grogu starting next year. You know what I mean? If it's going to be a 2026 release, like they seem to have it lined up where he could do it. You know what I mean? So it does seem doable rather than just using his voice. And I mean, we all know that that's what he's gonna. That's gonna, like, 100%. His voice is going to be the Mandalorian. So either way, like, he's going to be speaking, right? But whether or not we'll see.
Yeah,
like, and he won't be, obviously he won't be, you know, the stunt guys do a lot of the work too, right? So obviously he's not going to be 100% probably there, but it definitely seems to be doable. Like,
Yeah, I don't know if this is a thing, but I feel like if somebody's working on a movie here and they want them for a voice thing over there, they could just record it in this studio, send it over, boom, you're done.
It's the same thing. It's Disney.
But,
like it's owned by
yeah, same umbrella. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
I think he's going to be in it. I think so. How do you not do it without him? Come on, like.
I don't even think that's a worry at this point. I think that's the least of my worries, whether or not he's going to be in it. It's just a matter of, like I said, I think my concern is more, is this movie technically season 4, or is he doing this as a side project?
I feel that both will be done. It just, if Mandalorian Grogu is coming out 2026, then season 4 will be out like 2028. Like it's I don't know, when was the last season of Mandalorian? What was it, last year or the year before? Last year.
Last year.
Last year, yeah.
So 2023. So we're waiting. What's that?
If the movie's like about 26,
that's 3 years between that and the movie, and then what, another 2 or 3 years for the next season.
That feels like a long wait.
It's a long way, man. Like, it does seem a little.
Yeah, unless Pedro Pascal's gonna be an old man by then.
He's gonna be like, he's gonna have more gray hair than he does now. Like, but I mean, mind you, like, unless they do the production of the movie and then they go right into production for season 4, you know what I mean? Because everything's in place. I don't know, like, but then you got to factor in Ahsoka season 2 if they're gonna do that, and everything else is happening. So I don't know.
Well,
seems like a lot to put into between 2024 and 2028 or 9. Like, you're gonna shove in a lot of stuff. It's good for Star Wars fans. I love it, but where are they gonna put it all?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's starting to become the issue now. Is like, we begged for content, and now it's like, now where are we gonna put all this content?
Yeah, right.
So, but I mean, that's a good problem to have at this point. I agree. I'd rather be worrying about where we're gonna stuff all the content than are we getting any.
Yeah, I always feel like remember when we were talking about the writer's strikes, and it was like, I was like, just get back to work, you know? I kind of feel like that with these actors. I'm like, come on, just get it done. You can do everything. Let's go. Where's your work ethic? Let's go.
You can do it. Yeah.
All right.
They get paid pretty good, you know?
No, they don't. They make a little bit.
All right. Let's move on to the next one, guys. Want to do this one, Tom Cross, or?
Sure. Let me.
Do we talk about the Acolyte stuff before we talk about the trailer, or?
We can jump ahead.
I'm just I'm sure everybody's seen it. We can. I don't
So
know.
so sorry, which one? So jump ahead, not the Acolyte trailer, but a
Go
different
to
one.
the
Well, this is
update
yeah.
2. Yeah.
Uh,
The all 9 Star Wars saga films. Yeah.
okay. All right. All right. So yeah, update. All 9 Star Wars saga films coming to theaters on May the 4th. New look at the Acolyte, tied to the Phantom Menace screenings.
All right. Okay, hold on.
Wait, wrong one.
all the rest
That's the wrong one.
of things are all Acolytes. So maybe we should do the trailer first. I don't know. Unless you want to do it last, but
Actually, if you really go through this, it's really not that much Acolyte. Just you can go with this one.
okay.
Stick with the
Yeah,
update 2 one.
stick with
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Sorry. A lot of stuff here, man.
All right, there is. So yeah, StarWars.com has confirmed that an exclusive look at the Acolyte will play after the Phantom Menace during its May re-release. They also said that the tickets will go on sale Friday, March 22nd at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Eastern time. They have also confirmed the rumors that theatrical release of all 9 Skywalker Saga films though the preview for the Acolyte will only be tied to the Phantom Menace screenings. It will happen on Star Wars Day, May the 4th. Tickets will go on sale tomorrow, and this came out March 21st. So
They went on sale yesterday.
So yesterday.
Yeah. So go get your tickets, everybody. No, I'm just joking. So yeah, now it kind of goes into the trailer a little bit.
Well,
there. Should I just skip that?
There's something I do want to throw into this. Number one,
Okay.
just so that people know, understand what was just said here. If you're going to go to the marathon, understand if you were going to the marathon hoping you were going to see this Acolyte preview, you are not going to see it. It's only if you go to see the Phantom Menace, which is going to be in other theaters. That also being said, I went looking for this. I went looking for this marathon, and I could not find it in my area, which makes me sad because I would have gone.
I probably can't find it in mine either.
I didn't look yet because I didn't realize it's on sale already, but I'll probably look a little bit later.
That being said, I looked at about 2:00 in the afternoon Eastern, and already 75% of most places were full already.
Wow.
Is that for just the Phantom Menace or
that was for the marathons?
Okay.
Which it didn't look bad either, because I want to say it was like $75 to go watch the marathon, which actually wasn't bad considering you're watching 9 movies. And keep in mind also, if you're going to do that, it starts at 8:00 at night on May 3rd, which is that Friday night. You're gonna basically be there all night. You're gonna be there all day the next day. Just have fun, enjoy it, love every minute of it.
Wow.
But it's almost 24 hours in a movie theater.
I feel like it would make more sense to start it in the morning, no?
For what it's worth, when I went to do the Star Wars marathon, going right before The Force Awakens came out, the one that I did started at 1:00 in the morning. So we were getting at the movie theater at like 12:30.
Now that you say that, I do remember doing like a thing where they showed the Matrix trilogy, and that was like same thing. It like started at midnight or 1:00 or something like that. But yeah, I guess I wasn't thinking of that. But yeah, that's crazy. Like, what is it? 18 hours, 19, 20 hours, something like that to watch all that.
All the Star Wars movies, I want to say it was bordering on like 20 and a half hours or something like that. And that's crazy. I mean, you got to factor in, there's got to be breaks in there somewhere. They usually do little raffles and stuff in between. Yeah, I mean, they got to give you a chance to move around a little bit while you're there. So
Everybody just has a colostomy bag there. They're glued to their seat.
I mean, I will
That
say,
was the smelliest theater in the world. Oh my gosh. Oh Lord. That's nuts. Imagine that though. Like, oh my gosh.
I don't want to imagine that.
No, not that. Imagine the 9 movies. I don't get.
Yeah, I don't know if I
Imagine
could
that.
do it.
That's
I don't know
crazy,
if
man.
I could do it.
I don't know if I could do it either. And being, loving Star Wars so much, I don't
Yeah.
know, man.
Hey, honestly, I did
I
7.
do love Star Wars a lot, but that's a long time.
I'm gonna tell you, I did 7. I enjoyed it. I had a great time. You got to keep in
I
mind.
feel like I would have to bring like pillows, or I don't know. There'd have to be some pretty
People
intense
did.
preparation.
People got
of some
pillows,
sort.
blankets. There were lightsabers everywhere. People were dressed up. It was
the
a
atmosphere
lot of
would be
fun.
amazing. The atmosphere would be amazing. Like, not saying that. Like, yeah.
I mean, everybody got up, jumped up, cheered when episode 1 started. Everybody watched. They cheered through the end. Episode 2, you could hear people snoring, taking their naps, getting it in there because it made sense. But they were still cheering before and after the movie. Episode 3 picked up. Everybody was awake again because everybody loves episode 3, and everybody was excited going through that. And then they gave us after that they gave us I think we had a 1-hour breakfast break. So you were allowed to leave the theater. Basically, we had the little lanyards, and as long as you had the lanyard, you could go in and out of the theater as you pleased.
Right. Yeah.
So we were able to go out, grab breakfast, get some air, just relax for a little while. We went back in, and they started the original trilogy, and of course, everybody was awake for that. Then once the original trilogy ended, it was early afternoon. They gave us another hour break. We got to go grab lunch. We came back in.
And then everybody left. No, I'm sure.
This was at the premiere of episode 7. Nobody knew what to expect yet. So
yeah.
All right.
So at that point, here we are. We're sitting there. We're getting ready to watch this. We're all excited. We don't know what we're gonna watch, and I mean, I still like episode 7. So it ended up being a good time. It was not everything I expected, but it was. I still had fun watching it. So. And then I want to say I was home by, 10 o'clock that night?
Wow. Yeah. That's
So,
crazy.
Yeah, just.
So
around
from
the
1
time.
o'clock 1 a.m. to 10 p.m. basically.
Yeah, but keep in mind that was some pretty long breaks in between movies. I don't know if they'll give you that kind of those size of a break, but who knows what they're gonna give you. I know the coolest thing they did for us was they took one of the soda machines and they pushed it right outside the door. So, like, basically everybody that had a cup basically had free refills for the entire marathon. Just walk right outside, just grab what you want to drink, and go back inside.
Right.
I mean, that helped a lot. But yeah, other than that, it was just an absolutely great
free?
time.
They gave you that for free? Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's very generous of them.
No, we were all surprised too. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, like I said, it was.
I guess if you paid like a sort of a somewhat of a bigger ticket than say a standard movie ticket, it makes sense. They're already making their money.
It was a bigger ticket. I know in my case it was a Christmas present. So,
Nice.
but yeah, it was like I said. I just had a lot of fun.
Nice.
It's not available outside. Yeah, I'm having a hard time finding these tickets too. Like I've been looking, can't find.
It's like the only
It
place.
does say in the theater, because I put it in the theaters in where I live, and it does say coming soon, but you can't click on it to
to get
to buy
details or
anything.
tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the marathon or the Phantom Menace?
No, just the Phantom Menace. So I don't know. Some places may only have the Phantom Menace, and then other places might be doing the marathon.
Like, I think the theater near me is only doing the Phantom Menace, which in this case, just because I know what my day is going to end up being for May 4th, I think I want to just go watch the Phantom Menace because they're giving out the poster and you get to watch the preview of the Acolyte. But I also have I think I'm going to be doing something really exciting on the 4th, but I don't know if I told you guys about that yet.
It's not even pointing me in the right direction. Like, it's not even taking me to a place where I can buy tickets and see where they are, you know?
I gotcha.
It's kind of weird. But anyways. What were you going to say, Elder? Sorry, man.
Yeah, I don't even think I told you guys, but they're going to be doing, like, right near where I am, the guys at the podcast for Rebel Force Radio.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
you did tell us about that.
Okay, I did tell you guys about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I want to go. I want to go do that. And if I'm in a,
when is that again? On the 4th or?
4th, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. That sounds pretty exciting.
So
as well. Yeah, I think I would rather do that than go to 24 hours. It does say at 23 hours 59 minutes. I'm looking at a thing.
Well, I think it's an exciting thing for somebody who's never had the opportunity to go watch those movies in a theater setting.
I agree, and I don't know. I don't think a marathon of Star Wars for a first goer. I don't know if, because I mean, what if you end up not liking it and you're just like, oh, I just paid like a bunch of money for this and I don't want to stay.
I wouldn't. No. I don't mean somebody who's like going for the first time, has never seen Star Wars. I mean someone who knows they like Star Wars but has never gotten to see it in a theater.
I mean,
which I think is a much different thing.
I guess, yeah. You're right. It is.
But well, okay.
I think it would just be it'd be great to see Star Wars movies again, and we're coming up on that, right? But yeah, to see those again, that'd be cool. Especially the sequel, the prequels, because that's, for me, that's what started everything off for me. But seeing them all in the theaters again would be cool.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm excited at the prospect. So, yeah. I feel like I've taken us far enough off track here.
Let's get back on track here, Skipper.
All right. Shoot, I lost the article now.
Who's Skipper? Wait. Who's leading it right now? Swamp, is that you?
I can't remember if we finished saying stuff from that article. Hold on, let me double check here. I think we did, and then because it kind of just started talking about Acolyte. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, there are also rumors that there'll be Andor season 2 trailer at the Phantom Menace. That's the only thing I see other than that in there, but that says rumor, so we'll see.
I think at this point they're just trying to throw names of some of the shows.
Yeah,
coming
they're
up.
just like, oh, what could possibly be in there?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe this, maybe that.
Yeah.
Maybe TW. No, I'm just joking.
No. He will not be there. He'll still be in his room.
Yeah.
Oh, they might have some word for that day.
All right. Let's move on.
All right, so let me just see here. Last thing I'm gonna cover here before we start getting into that stuff. Right here. If on StarWars.com they finally released the poster for Star Wars Celebration in Japan for 2025, and it's an amazing picture of
Oh yeah,
Darth Vader, with what looks like a Japanese flag behind him, and in the background of that is Mount Fuji. And it is an amazing poster. I don't know what I gotta do to find this poster, but I need to find one because I want, if I ever have a studio room, that's gotta be in it. Because it's a great looking poster.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's good. It's a nice one.
And they also we're out to let people know that tickets for Celebration are going to start going on sale on May 2nd and May 3rd, which made me sad inside because I'm not going to be ready for that. But
because you know how fast those tickets are gonna go, man. Like, those tickets are gonna be gone.
Yeah, they'll be gone as fast as they get there.
Like, it's crazy.
So it's like my dream of
Japan
is
going out the window there.
Yeah, it makes me sad, but I guess I'll just have to wait for the next one after that and go from there. But like I said, no matter what, I have to get that poster. So
yeah, it's really cool. Like, it's really well done. It looks like it's hand painted, to be honest. Like,
yeah,
almost, right? So it's really cool. It's Darth Vader meets Mount Fuji. It's pretty cool.
And you got the TIE fighters in the background, the AT-AT at the bottom. It's just really beautiful picture.
Yeah.
I know none of our viewers can see it right now, but it's really cool. We should post the link somewhere for people to see it.
I can do that. I'm right
maybe
here
in
now.
the chat. I don't know whoever's there in their Twitch chat, but you can probably.
Yeah, if you're in the chat, I just put a link to the story there and puts up the poster. That's something
everybody on Spotify. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Mind you, the video. I think the video is going to be there on Spotify too, but.
Yeah, but on Spotify, if you Google it, I'm sure that you will find it.
I mean,
yeah, Star Wars Celebration Japan 2025.
Don't worry, guys. We'll eventually figure out how to make it so we can show you these things live.
Yeah, we're so yeah. We need production staff here to kind of like cue these things up.
That being said,
figure it out ourselves.
That being said, we are getting better every week, and one of these days we'll have it figured out.
Season 5.
Yeah, there it is. All right. So that being said, let's talk about it, guys. So Tuesday around 12 o'clock noon, we got the Acolyte trailer.
Teaser trailer. It's not even a full trailer. It's a teaser trailer.
What, about a minute, 45 seconds?
Minute. Well, more than that, yeah, I guess a minute. But I mean, they call it the teaser trailer, so I'm still thinking we're gonna get a 2-minute something trailer.
That wouldn't surprise me. I mean,
maybe that might be the trailer that they're gonna get at the Phantom Menace one, right?
It's possible. I mean,
the longer one.
I almost get a feeling that we're not getting a trailer per se. As is, we're going to get like some kind of maybe some behind the scenes stuff. But I don't know. That's just kind of the impression I'm getting there. But moving right along, let's get right into it. What did you guys think of this trailer?
Well, man, to me, like when I saw the kung fu wirework stuff, I love that kind of stuff. Like we all knew that kind of stuff was going to be in it, and the fighting and whatnot. Seeing Carrie-Anne Moss as a Jedi Master, that was cool. Like just like watching her fight that little sequence, whatever it is. I'm like, oh, she can do this because she was in the Matrix.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like we know she can do it.
She's Trinity.
She's Trinity, man. It's Trinity in a robe. Like, it was awesome. I don't know, man. Like it's, I really loved it. It was really, they didn't share a lot. It's nice to see. There's not a lot of familiar faces. Obviously, this is like 100 years. Because 100 years before Phantom Menace, I think.
Yeah.
Ish. So It's nice. We know that, I know that Yoda's around, so I feel like we might see a younger Yoda. And if they do, it's cool that they didn't put him in the trailer, because you don't really want to. You kind of want to, we're gonna see him eventually, probably, just like small little portion of it, I think, anyways. But yeah, it was cool. It's like Jedi versus this, assassin fighter. Like, it's like Jedi, and she's got a knife and she's got the Force, and just that scene where she pushes her and she slides on the floor, and you're like, oh, this is like, and then you see the Wookiee Jedi, and then you see the and then the big reveal at the end with is it a Sith? Is it a Sith master? Is it just somebody with a red lightsaber with the Force powers? But I mean, those Jedi at the end got their butt kicked, so they got to be strong in the Force or the dark side, right? So, but there's I don't know if there's a synopsis for the whole thing as well. I don't know if you guys can bring it up or whatever it is, but it's like
it was somewhere in one of the news stories that I had put up.
Yeah.
See if I can find it.
Yeah, I really like Carrie-Anne Moss, so that was cool to see her.
Yeah.
Oh, keep going.
Right. Okay. All right. Yeah. So it's cool and everything. I did think the trailer was a tad boring until the lightsaber. Like, it was just a little bit like bland music, bland colors, bland landscapes and stuff like that. But the lightsaber at the end was kind of the exclamation point on it. And like earlier, you were saying that like kind of rewatched this trailer more than Bad Batch. Like trying to rewatch that. I felt the same way, except for one specific scene I kept watching over and over. Is the lightsaber grabbing the hand grabbing the lightsaber, so I could look at the hand and try and decide if I thought it was Darth Plagueis or Darth Tenebrous, who is Plagueis Master, and I don't think it's either of them. Based on watching it like 1,000 times, and like to me, it looks like a girl's hand, first of all, and so Plagueis, he's a moon or mun, however you say that. The banking clan species there, they have like 2 short fingers and 2 long fingers.
Yeah.
And the hand definitely doesn't look like that. And then Tenebrous, he's a Bith, Bith, like the guy in the cantina who's playing the horn.
Yep.
And they have like really goblin-y looking, like really knuckly fingers, and it doesn't look like that. So it's neither of those 2 characters, I don't think. So I feel like we're not looking at like a Sith Lord here, because it's still rule of 2, right? So I don't think we're looking at like, at least this character, I don't think is going to be like a Sith Lord. I think it's going to be, some kind of troublemaker,
Yeah, it's just interesting, because I mean, you think, okay, in the Phantom Menace, it's like they didn't know the Sith. They thought the Sith were extinct for 1,000 years or whatever it was.
Right.
And this is 100 years before Phantom Menace, and then there's a red lightsaber, and potential Sith here. Like, it's crazy. But like, yeah, it's. I thought it was. I don't know. I didn't think it was boring. Like, I feel that I don't want to see a lot in the trailer. Like, I want to see what the show develops, and I want to see, they didn't show a lot of fighting, which is great. Like, just that one wire thing, and then the little sequence between Carrie-Anne Moss and the assassin May. I think that's the character's name, May, the assassin. So just that tiny sequence, which was really done well. Like, it was like, let's like, and then the push, and you're like, oh, great.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see a lot. And then at the end with all the lightsabers, I don't feel we're going to see a lot of a lot of lightsabers like that, like in the first half of the show. I feel that sequence is more pushed like later on. I don't feel they're like, this is like a time of peace, I think they were calling it, right? So it's like the Jedi are at the kind of like the peak of their order, and they're all about peace and all this stuff, right? So there's not a lot of fighting like we're used to with like, you know, like Attack of the Clones and all that or whatever it was. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, because even in the Clone Wars, they're talking about like how, you know, the Jedi are peacekeepers, but you know, we're in a time of war, so we have to adapt and stuff like that. So much different even for them at that time, right? So
Okay, I do have the synopsis here. It says, in The Acolyte, an investigation into a shocking crime spree pits a respected Jedi Master, which is played by Lee Jung-jae, against a dangerous warrior from his past, who was played by, I think it's Amandla Stenberg.
Amandla, yeah.
Says, as more clues emerge, they travel down a dark path where sinister forces reveal all is not what it seems. It just sounds a little generic, but
I mean, it does sound generic, but I mean, up until the trailer, like I think that synopsis was there for it or something similar like that, and then in the trailer, it does say that somebody's killing Jedi. So you're like, oh, so the whole mystery or whatever it is, it's they're trying to investigate the deaths of Jedi. You're like, oh, okay, that's you know, that sounds cool. Like, you know, not that the Jedi are dying, but it's a cool like you think, you're like, okay, this is the peak of the Jedi Order. You know, who's stronger than a Jedi? Who's killing the Jedi? Like that's just what it kind of seems. It's a cool story. Like, I don't know.
You're sick, Andy. You want them to kill the Jedi? No, I'm just joking.
I said that it's not cool that they're dying.
No.
But the story's neat.
Yeah.
All right, so
very much.
First thing I have to throw at this is, in the very beginning of the trailer, we see Lee Jung-jae's character, what is it, Master Soul?
Master Soul, yeah.
And he's sitting there with the children, with the little younglings, and he's teaching them a very important lesson. And I loved that scene. I absolutely loved seeing him walk through. All the kids are sitting there in meditation. It's like, imagine a world where you could get 10 little kids that age to be sitting there not making a sound.
Yeah, right.
Especially all those different species and stuff. You never know.
Different aliens, yeah. Different species.
But I thought it was great. It was showing an important lesson. And of course, as this is going on, you see another Jedi coming into the room, almost like they're into give a message or something. And it's, like I said, that part I absolutely loved. And as that's going on, you see obviously this May character walking through. And the one thing I didn't care for that part, because it was just pretty much the same thing that we saw in Andor, in the Andor trailers, when you just see Andor walking through this area, through this area, through that area. I just feel like it kind of recycled that. It just, I feel like there might have been a better way for you to get that across. I don't know.
To catch our attention more, like,
I don't know. It's just showing the different stuff that's going on in the marketplace, and then she walks into the bar or whatever it is, and you see all the aliens. I think just seeing all the aliens, you're like, oh, what's the different species they're bringing in this time? You know what I mean? Like,
and I think the funny part for me is, until that moment where she walks into the bar, and suddenly you see Carrie-Anne Moss like slowly turn her head, like she knows what's coming. I had completely forgotten that Carrie-Anne Moss was in this thing.
Yeah, when she turned her head, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, and she looks good too. Like she's an older lady, and you know she's looking good.
And
she's looking nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jedi Master Trinity is as badass as I expected Jedi Master Trinity to be.
Yeah.
Jedi Master Trinity, yes sir.
Now we
it's
just
like-
need Jedi Master Neo or
It's like
something.
not for nothing.
Keanu Reeves, yeah.
Not for nothing. I want to know more about Jedi Master Trinity. I want to know about. I mean, I want to know the lightsaber form she uses. What color is the lightsaber? I'm interested in this character because she can fight. And this assassin looked like toast compared to her.
Should we try to guess the color? Each of us guess a color and see who's right.
I'll go blue.
I mean, I'm going green. I don't think it's yellow.
Okay, so blue and
What are
green.
you picking?
I think she's going purple, boys.
Purple.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I don't think she was in that last scene though, too, with all the Jedi. I don't think she was.
I don't
there.
think so
I don't
either.
think she
I
was
don't
there
think so
either, no.
either.
Yep.
But
But yeah, that's my guess. We'll see.
But yeah, going through most of the trailer, I kind of did have a little bit of the same feeling as Swampgrass, where some of it just got a little boring to me. It's like, and it might just be. It's not. I don't think it's boring to the because it's actually boring material. It's just more. I don't have an idea of what's going on. Now I have a feeling.
So,
I have a feeling if you were somebody who's up to date on the High Republic, you're probably the one that's on the complete opposite side saying, holy shit, they gave too much away here. Because there are, I mean, I remember I watched a couple of those reaction videos on them, and there were people that were like naming off characters, and they were excited to see them and like talking about, oh, this is from the High Republic, we've been waiting to see her again. It's like, okay, all right, yeah, so I feel like I'm walking into this. I might be walking into the show a little bit behind the gun, and I might have to actually like pick up on some stuff before I watch this show, just so I can have a better idea of what's going on.
And there are things on YouTube. There's people that put together a bunch of stuff for the High Republic stuff, right? So you can do like a fast course on stuff.
But yeah, I feel like
unless you like to read it, you want to read everything, but that's a lot of material.
Oh no, there's a hell of a lot of material for the
there's a lot of
High
material.
Republic. I mean, I couldn't get through it all before the show came out, no matter what I want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, do I want to eventually read it all? Yeah, because I mean it's Star Wars. But yeah, I'm not expecting to get there in a month.
Yeah, no.
So, but I mean, yeah, then it brings us to that point where at the end, yeah, the girl turns around and the girl is the one that played X-23 in the Logan series, the Logan movie.
oh yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, "What is that?" And that's when we see the red saber. Now, that's where my eyes kind of lit up. It's like, okay, now are we talking? Is this
Daphne Keane, that's her name.
is this our assassin? And I mean, given the show's called The Acolyte, is she just an acolyte?
Well,
Or-
I think like the assassin that we're seeing, I don't think that's her. Like I feel that's either the master, like her master, even though we don't see her with a lightsaber or anything, like the main character, or maybe this is somebody else. Like, you know what I mean? Like it does say that in the synopsis. I don't know if the synopsis is there, but it said former Jedi Master or former Padawan to the Jedi Master. They team like, so it seems like May and Grandmaster Jedi Master Soul team up. That's what it sounds like, because there's something in the trailer where I feel like I was watching a couple of things and they kind of pointed out like it does seem like there's a couple flashbacks in that trailer. It does seem, right? So I think it's around Master Saul and around May, those two characters. And something about May being from his past, right? So she could be a former Padawan, left the order, all that stuff.
Well,
So
I know there's a lot of rumor floating around that in the beginning of the trailer, the girl, the little girl that's in there when Soul is trying to teach little younglings, the one that says "I see fire," they believe that's her. They believe that's her. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
If that's the case,
yeah, I did
then,
get that impression as well.
If that's the case, then yeah, obviously we're coming full circle. The other thing, there's a couple other things that I am wondering about, because again, we go to the ideas of potentially dark. We start talking this is like a real Sith, then we're talking potentially Plagueis. Plagueis would have been young at this point, so Plagueis might not actually have. He may not be an apprentice yet. Tenebris would very much be the right age. And Tenebris was a powerful and cruel Sith Lord. I could see him with the power to do some of the things that we saw in that trailer.
Yeah, but remember I was saying, like, it shows the hand and it's like definitely not Tenebris.
Well, I'm just leading there. Bear with me.
Yeah, all right.
But at least the idea that there's somebody else in play, and if that's the case, who are we dealing with? And on top of that, if they are a Sith, we have a lot. Again, we have to push back into the worries that I had from the last time we talked about this show, where there are things that you have
go
to
away
be careful
from the
with.
canon and stuff. Yeah.
When you start saying we haven't seen Sith in the millennia, either you're about to retcon something really badly, or none of these people can survive if they saw this lightsaber.
Right. Yeah. And like, for all we know, this could be some isolated region where they, maybe in that area they've never seen Sith in a long time or whatever.
Yeah,
maybe,
which is possible. But again, it's like I mean, I'm thinking, and it branches beyond that. If you saw the person, you have to die. If somebody even mentioned them to you, you have to die. If you were a friend of a friend of a friend that heard even the slightest inkling that this might be a possibility, you gotta die. Because this is a secret being held from the Jedi for a long time. Remember, it's not even just going back to Phantom Menace where you say we haven't seen him in a millennium. It's going back to the scene where you see Sidious and Maul on the stage together, as Maul's going up to his master and saying, "At last, we're going to reveal ourselves to the Jedi." It's like even they know we haven't. The Jedi don't know about us yet.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch at play here. I mean, you got to think too. Like, what if they do take care of this Sith or whatever, and then they cover up and not say anything, and like it's just these guys, this little small, group of Jedi masters that tuck it under the rug, like it could be a secret and very little new, and by Phantom Menace they're not around anymore.
I mean, possibility, but you got to be really good at playing that off.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying you got to be smart at it, I guess, right?
You got to masterfully write around that to make it work.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got something to add here. That character Daphne Keene, we were saying we don't really know what she is, but there is a video. Like when I looked up what her name is, the girl who plays X-23 there.
Yeah.
Anyways, she there's like a media room video where they have a couple people twirling around lightsabers and stuff, and she is one of them. So it's highly likely she's some kind of Jedi or something to that degree.
Oh, she's definitely a Jedi. As far as I know, I think from what I saw, she's I think she's Soul's current apprentice.
And Charlie
yeah.
Barnett.
Yep.
Charlie Barnett is the other person shown in this video as spinning around a lightsaber.
Oh, okay, yeah, from earlier in the video. All right.
No, just this, like, when I looked up the actress, it came up with a media room showing that they did like a showcase thing, and yeah, had those two spinning around lightsabers.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like that means they're probably Jedi.
Or they really like to spin lightsabers.
Well, I mean, it does say like Star Wars: The Acolyte on the thing and stuff, so I imagine it's
Clickbait.
And check this out on my next YouTube video.
Yeah. Check this out, guys.
All right.
Yeah. I know there was like he was like very brief in it, but how do you think the Jedi Master Kalneka looked, the Jedi Wookiee?
I mean, look like he was there.
yeah, it was too brief to like really get a good look at him. I don't know. I didn't rewatch that part enough, I guess.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't mean that in a negative way either. It's just, yeah, it was just like Flash, Jet,
You
Flash,
guys are
Rookie,
crapping on the
Flash.
trailer here. Come on.
I mean, he didn't.
Too small. Didn't give me any meat. No meat. Give me the meat.
I mean, it was,
I don't want any meat in this trailer though. That's what I don't
just
want
a taste.
to...
Just a taste of the meat.
like I don't know.
I mean, to me, it was just It was a 1 second flash. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, looks good, but you didn't show me anything. I mean, I don't even think he was there at the end when they all pulled their lightsabers out. So
yeah, I agree.
So if that's the case, I just haven't seen enough of them. Show me more.
Yeah,
I want to see more. Don't get me wrong.
It's too teasery.
That's it though. Tease.
Yeah,
it's a teaser trailer.
That's why I'm not. Yeah, I'm gonna wait till we get a real trailer before I decide.
Before you decide to watch it?
If it's good or not.
You're gonna determine the show whether it's good or not based on the trailer. Okay.
Absolutely.
I mean, the one thing I will say is at the end of the that scene when they all pull their lightsabers, whoever they're facing off against, I really want to see who it is, because that's a strong ass Sith.
They're super powerful to do all that. Like, yeah.
I mean, to sit there and basically beat the crap out of 8 Jedi in one shot like that. Yeah, you got my interest.
What if it's Ventress? No, that doesn't make sense timeline.
No.
I mean,
I was gonna say, like, because they're talking about Ventress, but no, that's should be pretty old, I guess, if she was around back then.
you probably had a better chance saying, what if it was our good boy TW, but
he doesn't know how to swing a lightsaber.
Maybe.
He can barely write a story. Come on. Our boy. You got a poster of him on your door there?
He's our boy. Our boy.
Yields up.
oh boy.
People are like, who's TW?
It's funny too, because he's super like artsy fartsy and not like that at all. He's not down. He's not down with the homies. No.
He's not down with the homies.
Oh boy. So, anything else we want to throw in about the trailer?
I think somebody pointed out in the trailer that there was a potential Plo Koon sighting.
Oh, really?
In a when they were looking into the forest there in the bottom right, it looked like his species, and I don't think there was another Jedi species of his species in the Jedi.
I would say, I believe the Keldor. Yeah,
I don't know the name. I can't remember, but I went and I stopped it. I was like, yeah, it looks like him. And somebody had circled it, and I was like, yeah, it could be him. But I mean, he'd definitely be younger for sure. But I think he was in the order at that point.
Yeah, but I don't know how old he would be at that point. So,
well, I
yeah,
know
I'm
too.
not,
I mean,
I'm
he
not
looks
really
young.
out.
I think he looks young. Like he could be like, teenage years or whatever, right?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to rule it out at all, but yeah, it's definitely possible. Who knows?
But anyways, yeah, somebody had pointed that out. I was like, oh, that's cool. We may get tidbits here and there of people that we know, right?
And as we should. I mean, because
as we should, yeah.
I mean, it's the right time periods. So, yeah. Anything else you want to throw in, Swampgrass?
No, sorry, I was just reading about the early life of Plo Koon in case there were some hints of like, when exactly he came around or anything like that. But it doesn't really give dates. It has stories. But yeah, that would be interesting to see him for sure. I would be cool with that. He's cool Jedi.
He's a cool Jedi. He was a cool Jedi. He was all about the clones.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, we'll move on to our next story, which was, I mean, a lot of Acolyte news coming from here. It says Lucas, the Acolyte trailer scores 51 million views, which is a Lucasfilm record on Disney Plus. It says Lucasfilm's taking a victory lap after releasing the first teaser trailer for Leslie Headland's The Acolyte on Tuesday. Apparently, the 90-second promo scored 51.3 million views across all platforms in the first 24 hours. It's the highest number for any Star Wars series on Disney Plus so far. It just goes into more of the same that we've talked about the series, so I won't rehash a lot of that. But 51 million views, that's quite insane. I mean, I know just by when I finally got to watch the trailer, like mid-afternoon on Tuesday, it was already had like 5 million views on YouTube. So
yeah, to me it's kind of crazy though that they're taking a victory lap when I was saying off screen that it's the worst received piece of Star Wars media of all time. It has like more dislikes than likes by like a massive ratio. So for them to be like having a victory lap over that is a little bit read the room.
In some cases, I guess you could say read the room, but at the same time, I guess you could also look at the other side of it, where, how does the saying go? Any news is good news.
Any press is good press.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you're getting that many views, that's definitely good news along the way. Because odds are the average person didn't watch it just once. I know I've watched it quite a few times. I know both of you have probably watched it a few times.
Not officially though. I just recorded that scene with the hand and I watched it like a billion times.
Okay,
you watched the entirety of the trailer once, but the scene with the hand you've watched at least a dozen times.
Exactly.
Just the hand though. Rewound it back. Hand.
Yeah.
Hand.
Yeah. And I was looking at pictures of like Biff's hands and Mun hands, and
I
it's
think somebody's
nothing.
got a hand fetish here.
I was just trying to get down to some answers with because that's our basically only clue about like who this person might be, and I think it's a girl, and I think it's not Tenebris or Plagueis.
This hand does
based
not
on my
fit.
Based on my investigation, my investigative
this glove
reporting
doesn't
here.
fit.
The glove does not fit. That's right. That's right.
Turning into OJ's. It's OJ Simpson, guys.
Oh man.
But it's crazy though. Like if you think about because when they launched the Mandalorian series, and they I'm pretty sure they had a trailer for that, right? They had something for it at least that kind of launched it all.
There
It's
was also a
just
teaser trailer. I remember that where it just showed like a Mandalorian helmet and there was like a shine on it, and then like some small brief thing of him just like walking
yeah.
with the tattooing behind him and the what's it called, the stormtrooper helmets with the spikes or whatever,
Yep.
the
Yep.
spears,
Yeah.
Yep.
and that was it. That was pretty much it. So that was a similar type thing, just a little
Yep.
teaser.
So I mean, for this to to surpass anything so far, I mean, it's good in that sense, right? It's crazy. I mean, it just goes to show like how anticipated. I mean, it's been a couple of years now since they announced this too, right? So there's people waiting for this, and we were all waiting for this too. We're like, when are they dropping a trailer for this? Like, it's out next month, like, you know.
Well, it's like I said.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't talk about the trailer soon, then I'm starting to question just how confident you are that you're
Whether it's coming out on time, like. But
not even whether or not it's coming out on time, but how much faith do you guys have in this thing if you're not dropping a trailer for it?
Yeah.
One thing I thought was a little bit weird too is they show like that poster with the blood, like, you know, the lightsaber
Yeah.
blade looks like blood or whatever.
Yeah.
But in Disney Star Wars, there is no blood. Like, we don't see any blood. So does that mean that we are going to see blood, or are they just again teasing us with
I think that's just red crayon.
red crayon? Oh
somebody
yeah,
colored it. Yeah.
or like
Well,
spice. Somebody spilled spice and they're like wiping
Like
it.
directly in the it just it was so specific.
I mean, on the other
Yeah.
side, we haven't
Do we
seen.
have like, is there a rating for this show?
That's what I was getting ready to ask. It's like,
Okay, yeah.
I don't think we have that yet. And I mean, if you're going to play that side of the coin with your poster, you're kind of giving me the impression that you're going to go for something a little bit crazier than a TV PG or even a TV 14. It's like, if you're going to play around with it, I'd rather you follow through. But
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen blood in Star Wars. Not a lot, but we've seen it.
Where?
Okay. Finn on his mask, okay? We have that one, okay? And then I think in the Mandalorian, and I think in the first season where
Yeah, you're
Moff
right.
Gideon and the
Yeah,
guys are
where
like,
his head
pummeling
is
him,
smashed
where
or
his head
whatever.
is smashed
Yeah.
open and he's bleeding.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true. That's true.
we
Yeah.
have seen it.
All right.
It's
All right.
there.
You got me. All right.
Up until those points, we were kind of questioning whether or not these people had blood in them.
Yeah.
All this time, but
Well, we know that lightsaber wounds, like, they cauterize,
it would
right?
cauterize it.
So we don't expect blood from that, but yeah.
I feel like the same kind of way with blaster bolts, some too, like, because it is an energy as well.
Mhm.
I think it just depends on how close you would be with the energy with the blaster, right? But
yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean, yeah.
I mean, this girl's like in the trailer, she's got a knife, so that's not going to cauterize. If she stabs somebody with that, like, that's going to cut, you know.
Yeah.
And it's the same with what's her face in Ahsoka there, the Night Sister. She had the blade of
Oh yeah, the Talzin.
Talzin or whatever, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Did she cut somebody?
No.
Did she get one of them?
no,
No.
I don't think
Like, I know
so.
she fought Ahsoka, or no? Did she fight Sabine?
No,
But
she
she
didn't
also
fight
had a
Sabine.
lightsaber, I think.
It was Ahsoka, right?
It was Ahsoka she fought.
Yeah.
I don't know if she got any cuts in.
I don't think she did, but
I don't
still, like,
either.
there are people that use practical weapons instead of, like,
Yeah.
you know,
But yeah, just I like
more delicate weapon, I guess.
other than those two things that you said, I was having a really hard time picturing any blood in Star Wars. So I'm like, are they trying to say that we're gonna be, you know,
Going in a different direction?
right? But we'll see. We'll see, I guess.
I mean, if you're gonna push that direction, do it. I'm all for it. But
Yeah.
I'm not hopeful.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But,
think it. Yeah, I feel like it's unlikely, but see it in the
But if you're
poster
gonna put
is
it
just
in a
yeah.
poster, because
Yeah.
clearly that's blood. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
gotta be, right? If you're gonna put it on a poster,
you're giving me the impression we're going there.
right?
Just saying.
I feel like we're gonna see a few Jedi that are like stabbed to death. Like just like they're gonna come upon the body and be like, "Oh man, is that a knife wound? Like what is this?"
Again, Andy with the Jedi. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I have a little fetish.
uh,
Oh man.
sorry, you walked into that one. I had to go there.
About the Jedi again? Yeah.
uh,
All right, so
All
let's
right.
let's move on to the next one. Who wants to cover it?
What's the next one? The Leslie Headland reveals key influences.
Yeah.
Let me clear my spectacles. All right. So this next article is from Star Wars Newsnet, and it's basically an interview with the director and writer of the show. Well, she directs some of the episodes. I think she's directing the first 2 episodes, I think. But the writer of the show, or whatever you call them, and basically, showrunner, yeah. So as the Acolyte's premiere draws closer, showrunner Leslie Headland has begun doing more interviews with a bunch of people. And she recently sat down with IGN recently to speak about her main inspirations for the show, how she selected its impressive cast, and how the Acolyte story backed the saga going forward. Leslie says, obviously, a lot of our Coruscant stuff is prequel based. It was a challenge, but we wanted to utilize practical sets for Coruscant, and that meditation room that you see, we wanted to do it justice, but also have it feel real and tactical. Definitely the large amount of Jedi you see in the trailer, I think, is very reminiscent of the prequel trilogy, but we don't have any Attack of the Clones level scenes. That's good. But also, the Clone Wars inspired the Acolyte a lot, being inspired by Night Sisters. We don't have any Night Sisters in this show, but being inspired by them, being inspired by Asajj Ventress. My favorite episode is The Wrong Jedi. I definitely took some inspiration from that. We kind of ran the gamut. Let's reference Return of the Jedi here. Let's reference this holding cell based on the Clone Wars episode here. Let's have a cantina because I've always wanted one. I think when you get an opportunity to do a Star Wars and you're a Star Wars fan, the idea is to get a lot of your wish list, and hopefully other people are excited by it too. She keeps going. What else? I think there's absolutely room for it to grow. I think especially nowadays, I'm just the kind of person where I want to make sure a season feels like a legitimately whole story, and I definitely pepper in a lot of like, here's how it could go this way, go that way, yada yada. And she talks a lot.
She does. She's yeah.
But I mean,
Quite the talk.
basically, yeah, she just talks about the influences and stuff. She grew up on the extended universe stuff, so she wanted to bring in some of the stuff like aliens and stuff like that from the extended universe. There's a few other things I think she had mentioned that are going to be in the show as well from that stuff. What else? So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys have
Yeah,
some
yeah.
other
I don't
thoughts on
know.
this?
Like to me, like she goes on with a lot of stuff. I find it hard to like really take her too seriously because yeah, I don't know. She's like to me, she's not a real Star Wars fan. She just pretends to be, but so like it's hard. Like when she's talking about all this stuff, she's like talking about like stereotypical Star Wars fans and stuff, not necessarily herself.
Right.
So I don't know. I find it hard to take her seriously personally, but yeah, perhaps other people don't. But yeah, I don't know. She's like, I think she's part of the problem personally.
Um, a lot of it, a lot of it felt like word salad to me.
Yeah.
Um, the one part of it that actually I wasn't too fond of when she was talking about it was the line here. We kind of ran the gambit. Let's reference Return of the Jedi here. Let's reference this holding cell based on a Clone Wars episode here. Let's have a cantina because I've always wanted one. It's like, so it's just like, ooh, this looks like fun, and that looks like fun. No, hey, they had a gunfight right there. That looks fun too. Why don't we just take all this, put it in a mixer, shake a shake a shake a, and here's your scene. Um, sometimes that
Yeah.
don't work.
Yeah, I expect a little bit more intricacy in that in the writing of a Star Wars story. Like, you know what I
I
mean?
mean, it
Not that
does.
she's a writer or anything
I
like
mean,
that.
it kind of makes me wonder. It makes me wonder a little bit about, while some of these scenes look good on camera, how much substance is going to be really behind it as we watch it. um, I'm a little. It's like I look at the trailer. It's like, okay, it was all right. It's it. I'm not gonna go as far as to say like it got me hyped for the show. Whereas there's other stuff I've watched and it's got me hyped. It didn't hype me, but it didn't make me say I don't want to watch this either. Um, but I also think part of that is the fact that I don't know the High Republic that well yet, and I still have much to learn. um, but when I hear stuff like that, it's just like, are we really trying to put a good show together, or are we just trying to? Oh, I see a bunch of stuff I like. I just want to throw it all together and add a little diversity, and here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Um, so I'm hoping I'm wrong. 100% hope I'm wrong, but that does worry me a little bit. Sorry, it just does.
Don't be sorry. We're all worried about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just hope that somebody more capable than her is in charge of these decisions personally.
I mean,
Well, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I'm
She's
Yeah.
got to run it by a few people. Like,
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of this that had to be run by Filoni. Filoni had to put his stamp on it. So, at the end of the day, yeah, sure. I don't think this is going to kill continuities or anything because Filoni's not going to let it happen. But at the same time, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're getting the greatest Star Wars show of all time either. But I still want to watch this. I still want to know where it goes. I'm not on the negative bandwagon here.
you want them to prove you wrong.
I do want them to prove me wrong, and I can't help but be a little worried. But that's because I want it to be good.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. That's where like all this like criticism comes from on my end is like, yeah, I want this to be good and so far what I've seen doesn't necessarily lead me to believe that it is going to be good per se. Hope it is, but it's still the same hope I had before the trailer that hopefully it's good, you know.
A rebellion is built on hope.
Yeah. A resistance too, I think.
And moving right along. uh, yeah, let's get on to the next story because I mean, I don't want to dwell on stuff like this either. Um,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah,
so,
let's move along.
so Gretch, you want to catch the next one, or
The toy one, is that one next?
I think that is next.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Hasbro announced the release of the Acolyte first lineup of Acolyte figures coming out this summer. We got uh, 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 after they debuted the trailer, first look at the figures. Hold on, this article doesn't get quite to the point right away, but it does show some cool stuff before it actually gets to the point. It shows a Black Series Moff Gideon premium electric helmet, the dark trooper Mandalorian helmet, Moff Gideon. It looks pretty neat.
Yep.
Okay, and then yeah, so one of the ones in the set is the Vintage Collection May Assassin. Set at the end of the High Republic era, former Padawan reunites with her Jedi Wait, is this the thing? The synopsis that we already read about the thing?
They
No, never
say the
mind.
synopsis before each one, and then they go into the description of the toy, pretty much.
Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, May from the trailer, fans can celebrate the legacy of Star Wars action adventure with this premium 3.75-inch scale Star Wars Vintage Collection May Assassin figure, inspired by the character's appearance in the Acolyte. Yeah, includes figure and 3 entertainment-inspired accessories, including 2 daggers and a removable mask. Oh wait, is that talking about the other one?
No,
How did
no,
that happen?
No,
No, that's
you're
good,
right.
that's good.
you got it.
Yeah, so anyways, yeah, and then Jedi Master Soul, uh, same size, 3.7-inch, 3.75-inch, includes 2 entertainment-inspired accessories, including lightsaber and his, unlit hilt. So just holding the unlit lightsaber. Looks like they have a kinda robe on him. And then there's Padawan Jackie Lon. Also comes with a lightsaber. Same thing, same size. Or wait, I don't know if it says the size. No, this is a premium 6-inch, so this is a bigger one.
Yeah, these are the Black Series ones.
Yeah, this one's Black Series. The robe looks a little bit higher quality too than the other
Yeah,
one there.
the Black Series are generally more expensive than the vintage ones.
Yeah. Available for pre-order at 1 p.m. Eastern on the 21st, so a couple days ago on Amazon, Hasbro Pulse, other major retailers for $24.99. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Anyways, Black Series Jedi Knight Yord Fandar comes with a lightsaber and removable blade. Is that a 6-inch one as well?
Yes, there is.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a 6-inch one as well.
And he
And
carries a yellow lightsaber.
yeah, yellow
He's
lightsaber.
got the yellow
there.
one. There you go.
And then we got Jedi Master Indara.
Look at the lightsaber, guys. It's green.
All right. You looked at the toys.
No, I didn't.
All right, another 6-inch one with Carrie-Ann Moss. I mean, Jedi Master Indara.
Trinity.
I mean, Jedi Master Trinity.
Trinidara.
Trinidara.
Comes with a lightsaber accessory with a removable blade. Yeah, she's got a nicer looking robe as well, and looks like she can go in some pretty cool fighting positions and stuff like that. And then another one, 6-inch Black Series Jedi Master Soul. Again, the nicer looking robe and lightsaber accessory with removable blade. And then we got the Black Series May Assassin, and that one comes with 5 entertainment inspired accessories, including 4 knife accessories and the removable face cap. And again, a little bit higher quality, 6-inch.
Yeah, there's 5 of the Black Series ones.
And then vintage collection. Princess Leia Organa. She's 3.75 inch. That's like the GI Joe size, right, guys?
Yeah.
The 3.5, yeah.
Yeah. And then
Or 7.5, sorry, yeah.
3.75, yeah. 3 entertainment inspired accessories, including 2 blasters. She's got like a white robe going on there. Classic styles.
A New Hope robe.
Yeah, exactly. And then R2D2 one vintage, same as that, pretty much same dimensions. It doesn't say that one comes with anything, but you know, it's R2D2. He's got it all in one. He's got it all in one. And then there's a Black Series Darth Maul that looks like he's a hologram. So
yeah, it's a holocom.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
it requires batteries and it's a hologram thing. Yeah, thingy.
And
it's like what the bounty hunters have, the hollow pucks or whatever.
That looks pretty badass, by the way.
Yeah, it shows 3 different positions there. One he's got like the lightsaber, the single blade lightsaber, and then one he's got the dual blade, and then one he's got his hands behind his back. So yeah, pretty cool. Oh yeah, but it is an actual toy too, right? Like I see the packaging. It shows it's like a plastic mold, and then I think the light just shoots into it, and it looks like that.
Yeah, I think the light comes from the puck, shoots up.
Okay, so that's how you get those different positions. You just put it however you want it. I get it. Cool. So yeah, that one's $30 coming out the 21st, couple days ago. Again, same time, same day as the rest of that stuff. Or no, this is says this fall, but also says
you can pre-order.
Oh yeah, pre-order.
You pre-order on the 21st.
Pre-order's already.
Yeah.
Fall, yeah. That's right. Some of them did say summer though. I think pretty much all the rest of the ones said summer, and then that one's fall.
That one's the only fall one yet. Yeah.
So yeah, that's it for that Hasbro line of Acolyte and Black Series Gideon and vintage R2D2 and Leia, and then the Black Series Maul hologram. So, yeah.
Okay. I think we kind of covered that pretty well. So,
which one are you getting, guys? Are you buying them all? No,
probably not. But
if they come out with Funko Pops, I'll be all over them because that's my thing. But the Black Series, man, they're expensive. Like I would have more if they weren't so expensive. But man, like $25. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it is.
For a toy, yeah, it is.
And it might be more. That might be US too. $25.
Probably US. And that Maul one was 30. So.
Yep.
All right, so I'm kind of torn on this last one because I'm not sure if we really want to cover this just yet, or if we want to hold this off.
I think we should just move to the batch stuff.
Well, I kind of want to cover the last one no matter what. It's
okay. The time of the episode one.
Yes.
Okay.
So we've got this is one coming from Movie Web. It says Star Wars. The Acolyte episodes will be shorter than many fans would like. I think this is one we need to kind of cover. So, speaking with Collider,
yeah, it is big news.
Headland was asked the age-old question that every fan wants to know about upcoming big shows: how long will each episode be, and what's the combined runtime of the series? Headland replied, and I quote, "About 30 minutes, yeah. I would say some of them are a little bit longer, like the finale. I think it's 40 minutes. But there are also some that I think that are barely 30 minutes. On average, I would say somewhere between like 30 to 35 minutes." No! No! Make these damn shows longer.
Why are they shortening it all? Like it seems like every series they're putting out there, they're making the series shorter. Down, I feel like they're gonna get down to like the 22-minute episode that the animation shows go. Like,
Yeah.
And but that's the thing. Once you bring in, oh, this is what happened last episode. Oh wait, here's our 7 minutes of rolling credits for each episode. That's what you're getting. You're getting
7 minutes of credits at the end. Like,
yeah, you're getting 22 minutes if you're lucky. And you know what?
Yeah.
This is Star Wars. We're supposed to be predicated on great stories based on a lot of different things in the Star Wars universe. You're telling me we can't take this story and we can't make each one of these at least 45 minutes long? This is a story that people are excited for. You've had all the time in the world to make this, and you're some that are barely 30 minutes long. What? You got to be kidding me at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I've listened to some people also starting to ask the question. Excuse me. If you're going to make such short episodes, hold on a second. Excuse me.
Yep. Hydrate up. Hydrate.
Okay.
Yeah. Short episodes. I don't. Oh, you're back. You're back. All right. No worries.
I'm sorry about that.
No worries.
I got ahead of myself. But yeah, I'm sorry. I watch, in the past couple months, I've watched on Netflix, one of the shows I really wanted to watch was Avatar: The Last Airbender. Great show on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, go see it. You won't be disappointed. Even they could find a way to take it and make 40 to 50 minute episodes that keep me involved, keep me wanting to watch more, and keep me interested. At this point in time, when you start talking about things like this, and you're going to tell me that your show is only going to barely be
30 minutes.
30 minutes long. Okay, great. Do I want to just wait until I get about 2 hours of show and then I can watch it all at once? Or do I... Or what? I mean, why don't you just cut this and turn it into a good 3-hour movie, and I'll just sit there and watch a 3-hour movie called The Acolyte? I'd rather do that. But
I was gonna say, if it's only like equaling like 3 hours, yeah, make it a movie.
But if you're gonna tell me it's gonna be 20-minute episodes once we're all said and done, because of all the credits and all the back crap that we gotta listen to before we can get to the episode itself, it hurts to make me want to go out of my way to go sit down for 20 minutes of episode. It's like, yeah, I want to watch it because it's Star Wars, but you know what? 20 minutes, maybe I'll just wait until next week. And that's the frustrating side of this. I mean, even some of the Mandalorian episodes, some of the best episodes we watched were some of the longer episodes. And here we are, through that we had a lot of filler episodes that were 34 minutes, 35 minutes. And it's just like, why can't you give me something more to work with? How are you fitting all of this into less than a 30-minute episode? There's 8 episodes of this series. So you're telling me you have barely 4 hours of material after all the time you've put into this? And and now I'm looking at this show and I'm supposed to say I'm utterly excited for it. Again, don't get me wrong. I want to watch this. I'm not trying. I can't help but not be negative on this one.
Yeah.
Give me something to work with.
Yeah, shorter times is not a good thing. If they said longer times, I'd be stoked. So, yeah.
Yeah, if you told me, if she came out and said, "Well, each one of these episodes is 50 minutes long," hell yeah, let's go. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. I'm looking forward to watching 50-minute episodes. Barely 30. What aren't you telling me here?
So did you read the rest of it there? Because she's like, she goes into this thing. She doesn't think it's a movie in several parts, yada yada. She's like, it should be a weekly experience.
If you want it to be a weekly, I'm sorry. If you want it to be a weekly experience, give me something to make it a weekly experience. Or you know what? Tell me it's a 4-episode, 1 hour a week series, mini series that you decided to make. If you at least said that to me, okay, I'll accept that. It's a mini series. You didn't really go too crazy with it. But to tell me it's a full length series, 8 episodes long, and that's the other thing. Regular TV, when it was on television, they might have had 30-minute episodes. There were 20 episodes a season.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, if you're gonna make it 30 minutes, like make it like Clone Wars, 22 episodes or whatever per season, you know?
I mean, I could go watch something like The Flash, Arrow. Those were hour-long episodes. With all the commercials, they still were 40 to 45-minute episodes. And these things had 20 to 25 weeks of material to work with. These people were writing. You can't come up with that much for one episode for 8 weeks. What are you doing? What did you do with all the money that Lucasfilm gave you? Because Lucasfilm gave you a butt ton of money to do this show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I have to rant here. I have to rant here.
Sure. She needs to do better.
I agree. That's
Also, like the way she says stuff, like I don't know. Is that even official? She's just like, oh yeah, about 30 minutes. Yeah, I'd say maybe. I don't know. I think it's like 40 minutes. Like
you can kind of hear the
such
tone
an
of her,
airhead.
right? When you just read that, you can kind of hear the tone, right? Like kind of hear how her character is.
Yeah. She's yeah, like I said, hopefully there's far more capable people than her in charge of a lot of this stuff. Maybe she's just fully wrong and just doesn't understand.
I hope she's wrong. I really do.
These episodes, and she just, you know.
Yep.
Just talking baloney.
We'll have another Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You know who? We should have a story with Brendan Wayne telling us if it's 30 minutes. He probably knows better than this lady.
He probably. Yeah. I'm never in the rooms, but if I'm gonna guess,
when I was timing how much time I was on stage there, doing my extra work on this show, I was able to extrapolate. It's only got to be a 24-minute series.
I was doing a stunt double with an alien. I overheard. Yeah, it's, I don't know. Like if you're gonna give us like 30-minute episodes, make them longer. Make the season longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I agree with that for sure. Because I mean, we're gonna be waiting here every week, and it was the same with the Clone War or with Bad Batch, right? We get one episode, we get spoiled with the 2-episode weeks, right? And you're like, oh, this is great, but then you got to go back to that one episode, and like it's like 21 minutes. You're like, all right,
But it's weird. I don't even feel so bad with the cartoons because.
No, but we're used to it. The cartoons.
Yeah, that's the thing. The cartoons.
Exactly.
I'm expecting a half hour. I'm not expecting that to be.
But my point is, you still feel like, oh, I want it more. I mean, like, even we're used to it. You want it more, but
But
now like, we're going into this,
But going into this show, it's like, now I'm going to sit down, and before I even get really comfortable to understand what's going on, the show's going to be over already.
Yeah, I'm going to get a bag of chips and come back, and it's going to be done. Like,
It's like, give me more.
We want more. We've been saying this, Star Wars. We want more.
And we're getting less in the process.
Yeah, I think they're listening to us and going, "Oh, we're gonna screw these guys." Then
Let's do the opposite.
let's not listen to the Star Wars fans. That's the way to go. Great job.
They like cantinas. Let's
They
just
like
give them 20 minutes.
I like that scene from the Jedi movie. What was that called again?
Yeah.
The one with the Jedi in it.
Oh yeah. Keep in mind when they asked her what her favorite Star Wars movie is, she's like, "There is no favorite Star Wars movie. There is just Star Wars." That because she doesn't have an answer. She doesn't know Star Wars.
It's like I said, prove me wrong. Make this be a really good show, but I want more than 30-minute episodes. Sorry. Yeah. I'm not smiling at that.
Yeah, Randby in the chat brings up a good point. We're going into a whole new timeline, whole new world where we don't know anything about anything, and you're gonna give us like no backstory by the sounds of it. Like just yeah.
Well,
So
and also like you're saying before, early on, we're going into this not knowing a lot about High Republic, and some people are, right? So it's going to be the ones that know the High Republic going into this stuff. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, da 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 da. And for us, we're gonna be like,
And don't get me wrong. I mean, hey, for those people that are in the know of what the High Republic is, they know exactly what they're walking into. They probably know 3/4 of these characters, everything about them already. More power to you. Doesn't mean I don't want to learn. I am excited to learn, but I feel like by the time we learn a character, the episode's going to be over anyway. And
we're killing Jedi, so we're not going to know.
That's like
the 8-episode arc too means that we're not going to be getting any like double episodes, I would imagine, or it'd be over in like a month.
Well, we got the first. It's 1 and 2 is the first week. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, and that tells us we're getting what, an hour of show?
Almost.
Yeah.
Probably almost an hour.
It's like at least Obi-Wan, when they said we were doing 2-3 episodes, it was a little over 2 hours. I felt a little better about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
We'll see, I guess. I'm hoping that it's all wrong, and I hope that she's just been fed these lies, and she just, they're just they know it on their end too. They're just like, we'll just tell her these things and surprise people.
Well, surprise me then, because that's all I got left.
Yeah,
that's all I got left. All right, I'm done. I'm done with my rant. So, I mean, you guys got anything else you want to throw in? I mean, definitely throw it in there. Otherwise, you guys want to move on, or
you're more ranty than I am. I don't need to. You've said a lot.
All right.
I remember I got drawn in by the kung fu wire work, so I'm not the one to be.
I understand. All right. We do have some episodes of the Bad Batch we got to cover. Gonna throw up the spoiler alert, because as usual, if you haven't been here, and I've got that fixed now, so poof, we got that coming up in one shot now. So we got it's a beautiful thing, guys.
Our production's getting a little better now, guys.
So just throwing it out there. If you haven't seen it, why are you here? Go watch the episodes and come back. But otherwise, as of now, we're gonna start going into the last 2 weeks of Bad Batch, which is episodes 6, 7, and 8. If you haven't, let's get into it. We'll start with episode 6, which was called Infiltration. It was directed by Stuart Lee, written by Brad Rao. And it says here, guarded by Rex and his fellow rogue clones, Avi Singh, the former senator of Raxus, secretly meets with Rio Chuchi to discuss the formation of a rebel movement against the Emperor until another clone assassin strikes. The attack fails and the assassin is captured and pressed for information on Tantus. But another assassin is sent out to kill him before he can talk. Among his equipment, Rex's men find a register listing Omega as one of his assigned targets, prompting Rex to summon the Batch to his base on Teth. Omega and Crosshair relate with what little they know about the Imperial experiments and the clone assassin division formed by Hemlock. Upon hearing that they have captured one, Crosshair warns them of a secret tracking implant inside the operative, but then the second assassin strikes, killing the captive. Base is accidentally blown up, and an Imperial retrieval team led by Commander Wolf arrives to recapture Omega. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of when they activated that second assassin. I mean, what were you guys thinking? Were you guys like, oh, that's kind of a coincidence? Like, where he's like, why was I activated? I bet you a lot of people are like, oh, that's tech, you know, or whatever. But I mean, I'm still on the fence about it, but
I thought it kind of dispelled the hype for me. I'm like, oh, it's just random clones because they
well,
like when
at
they're
this point,
questioning
at
that,
this
that's
point,
what I thought.
we're getting used to them hyping something up, and then or you know, certain things being hyped up, and you're like, oh, this is gonna be good, and they'll be like, no, it was nothing really. It's just
Yeah,
so,
that's kind of how it
that's
felt
why
to
I'm
me,
on the
like
fence
because we
about it,
had
right?
this hype about those like whatever the dark armored clone, and you know, what does it mean? Who is it? All that stuff, and then once we seen that there's like, you know, potentially a lot of these things, and they just, you know, they're just kind of assets for them. I
Yeah,
just the whole mystique of it kind of disappeared a little bit. Not that that's a bad thing. At least now we know what they are, but I definitely feel like they're less mysterious than before.
See,
You know?
I don't know if I don't know about that. I mean, when it comes to these new assassins, at no point has tech even crossed my mind for me. But
Yeah.
I'm sitting here and I'm thinking my way through it, and as I'm going through the episode, obviously we see the second assassin come in. I'm expecting him to be as good as he currently is. I mean, so none of that stuff is really surprising me. I'm also understanding that these clones are pretty solid. I mean, is nobody to. Rex isn't a pushover. Obviously our Bad Batch members are pretty solid as well. Obviously the second Crosshair sees that assassin's still alive, first words out of his mouth, we gotta get out of here. He knows what's going on.
he knows. Yeah, he knows stuff.
The part that I was excited about when I started hearing it was when Rex was like, well, I'll just have to contact our other group. Gregor will be there ready to help us. And he mentioned, and that's when we get the mention of Gregor, and it's like,
Right.
Yeah.
oh really? And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this Imperial retrieval team shows up, and as he's stepping off of the thing, off of the shuttle, you could see the suit, and it's like, is that Wolf? And suddenly it's like, it is Wolf. And it's like suddenly
Yeah,
it's like,
because it shows his bum eye and stuff.
and right away it's like, okay, we know these three come together over the next few years. Are we starting to see this come together?
Yeah.
That's the part where I started to get excited, because it's like, now not only are we talking about the Bad Batch, we're starting to put little tidbits together for other stories. Where I mean, obviously we're leading into stuff from Rebels, and that's where I was starting to like, oh yeah, okay, I want to see where this goes now.
Right. Yeah. I was excited to see Wolf. I mean, we knew from the trailer like he was going to be in this. It's just when the reveal was going to be, and what Commander Wolf we're going to see, right? Like in this, and by this episode we still don't know, right? You're just seeing Commander Wolf, and he's leading a team of clones. commandos and all this stuff, right? So they're the retrieval team going in. So at this point, we don't know yet.
And we don't know and we don't know. And he doesn't know who he's up against yet. So
and he has no idea. Yeah, he just knows that they're the what are they I think they're calling them terrorists, aren't they? Like
terrorists, rogue clones,
whatever, right? So so that's all he knows, and he's just following the Empire orders or whatever it is, right? Being a good soldier. But it was cool to see that, yeah, for sure. So the only thing about the assassin, so the second assassin that got put in, and it just seems like they're trying to make it seem like it's tech because of the whole like thing that, because the other assassin didn't have the eye thing that came down, right? Over his helmet, and that's something that kind of seemed like tech had, right? He had the thing that came down or whatever, and just I don't know, they were being very detailed about how they were like keeping the camera, I guess it's cartoon, but
keeping him in the frame or whatever,
keeping the frame on him or detailing things about him, right? So it was just,
they did show a lot of attention to detail of him like placing the bombs and all that kind of stuff too.
But then again, like we've gone through this with Merrick in the Ahsoka one, right? I was like, I remember saying that, I'm like, they're focusing the camera on him, and there's something about this guy.
and they had him in a poster, didn't they?
Yeah, like bought his Funko Pop, man. It's over there. Like, you know what I mean?
Did you actually?
What?
Did you actually get it?
Yep, have it up top. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Anyways,
yeah, the hype was real, but then
the hype was real, man. But yeah, so I can see how people are kind of going that way, and there's a couple rumors going around of what he could be or what it is. If it's a mix of Rex and this, or not Rex, Tech and somebody else, or I don't know, like, because all the tests these are clones that were tested on Tantus, or doing all these experiments by Hemlock, and so we don't know how many of the assassins are, but anyways,
I think it did add another layer of like wanting us, the audience, to not trust Crosshair, because he kind of like stops them from questioning him about stuff about the assassin program and stuff like that. So he's just like, no.
Well, at this point, yeah, because the first assassin was like, because when he walked into the room, when he saw that it was Crosshair, he definitely knows him.
Yeah, he recognized him for sure.
So yeah, the story is trying to, they're trying to be like, trying to get the audience still not to trust Crosshair, and he's obviously still holding back on some stuff that
well, you gotta remember that
yet, right?
That trip was the captain for on Ryloth, when they were on Ryloth, and Champ Syndulla was trying to protect Hera, and they sent Crosshair in alone to disrupt everything.
Right.
So he knew. Yeah. So he definitely remembers Crosshair from that.
No. But I mean the other the assassin, though. I was talking about the assassin that was tied up.
Oh.
When he saw Crosshair walk in the room, he's like, "Why aren't you tying him up and asking him questions? Like, why?"
Yeah. And he like calls him brother and says something to him about the program or whatever.
And then he's like,
you could have been like us, and yeah.
And then Crosshair's like, we got to get out of here now. Like, and I think at that point, he knew that they were being tracked. Well, he did. He told them that they were being tracked or whatever it is, right? So,
yeah. But also, you got a bit of a sense that he was trying to cut the interview short, right? He didn't want him saying everything. Kind of felt that way,
maybe, right? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, and then everything goes wrong with the base, and everything blows up, and
rubble everywhere. It was kind of cool animation with all the destruction going on. Actually, like the people getting pinned under the rubble and all that kind of stuff. I think it looked pretty sharp.
Yeah. No, it was definitely a lot. They did a great job with a lot of that, and it made it really. It was. How am I trying to put it best? Because I feel like I'm crossing over into the next episode of what I'm saying, but
I was trying not to either when I was explaining the Commander Wolf stuff.
Yeah.
But this assassin does a good job of getting around without anybody really noticing him.
With ease, man. Like, he just.
And he gets there quick too. Like, they don't give him any ordnance or anything like that. He just finds them. Like, or I guess he does have the ordnance of the first assassin.
Yeah, he was able to figure it out pretty quickly.
Yeah. And even like parked way far away, it shows him like landing like way far away, and then he just starts running through the forest. It's like, holy, this guy's serious.
Yeah,
serious.
Popped some adrenaline.
Climbs the spire. That was actually a pretty cool base too. The spire, like just the way it's built in that big rock formation and stuff. Pretty cool.
On Teth.
Yeah, kind of like how it looked like an old hut palace.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah, it did. Similarity.
Yeah.
Yep. So good episode.
Yeah,
and this was a double episode night too, right? So
yeah.
So
infiltration and extraction.
Yeah.
So who wants to go into talking about extraction?
I'll do extraction. Episode 7, Extraction, directed by Saul Ruiz, written by Jennifer Corbett and Matt
Mitchnovets.
Mitchnovets. The Bad Batch, Rex and his few surviving troopers, make their way through the ruined base, pursued by Wolf's men and the clone assassin. The latter, in defiance of Wolf's orders, the fugitives launch a shuttle, but the assassin shoots the vessel down, forcing a crash landing and a rough trek to an extraction by Echo. The assassin pursues them on his own until he goes over a waterfall, facing Crosshair in a duel. At the extraction point, Wolf intercepts them, but upon being confronted by his old friend Rex and the truth behind the Emperor's treatment of clones, he lets the survivors escape. As they depart, Rex advises Hunter that in order to keep Omega safe, they have to find out why she is so important to the Empire. So, what do you guys think?
I enjoyed this episode. I thought it was a lot of fun. I so badly want to see them kill this assassin because he was just a pain in the ass.
and then the reveal at the end, right? A lot of people are like, "Oh, he's gonna." I think a lot of people were expecting him to take his helmet off or have the helmet like broken or something. You know what I mean? Like, but no reveal yet.
But to me, just the point where they finally meet and Rex looks and he's like, Wolf, and they both kind of realize who they're facing off against.
Yeah.
And even Wolf's in there like, but why are you doing this? And he's like, I'll take you in. I'll make sure they don't do anything bad to you guys. And it's like no, that's not gonna work anymore.
Yeah, if you take us in, we're dead.
Yeah, and they're moving on to the point where Wolf kind of lets them escape, and that door opens, and right there at the door, there's Gregor. It's like now we're starting to see it come together, like I said from the last episode, and that's the part where I'm a little excited. It's like now we get that chance. Hopefully, over the next few episodes, we see potentially Wolf coming over and getting out of there himself, and hopefully we see where that goes. because there's still a few clones we haven't heard about yet. I mean, we don't know how exactly everything happens with Wolf. We still don't know what's happened with Cody yet.
Yeah.
We may never find out what happens with Cody, but be nice to.
I really hope that they don't leave it like that. Like, this is the last. Honestly, this is the last chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To kind of like play out that story with Commander.
Clarity. Yeah.
Give us clarity. What happened, man?
I mean, unless you're going to give us some kind of series where those three, Rex, Wolf, and Gregor finally break off and start to go do things on their own. But I don't know if I don't know how I feel about that.
You could go with this, like, yeah, I don't know how much more. Like, I would love to see it continue, but it has to end at some point and link up to some things, right? So,
well, I think it would have to link eventually to that story of where they end up, and eventually that picks up with Rebels. But
right.
I don't know that I want to. Part of me almost doesn't know if I want to see that story either. So, I just hope we get it. I hope we get a solid answer. I mean, we're about halfway through this season now.
Yeah.
So,
I honestly, I think this interaction with Wolf, I don't see us seeing him again till the end of the series. To be honest. Just how the titles of the episodes are laid out. I feel like the last maybe couple episodes, it's going to be him realizing what the Empire's doing, yada yada, and then it's the last episodes, the Cavalry has arrived. I think the team that he's kind of, leading or whatever it is with the commandos and all the clone, because you can. There was two retrieval ships that came in with them, and one was stormtroopers, and the other one was just clones, right? So you can, right? And the stormtrooper one went down and got destroyed or whatever, right? But the clone trooper one was still. So I think that group of clones are somehow going to be involved in a saving of whoever at the end of the. And that's kind of where everything goes. That's where Wolf and Gregor and Rex are probably going to go and hide. Yada yada. So that's kind of what I think that's going to happen. So I don't think we're going to see Wolf again till the end, because we still got to have like Asajj coming in here somewheres, and there's still stuff going on. So,
but based on these titles, I would have assumed that these two episodes, 6 and 7, were going to be about them planning and infiltrating Mount Tantus, and then Extraction was like after shit hits the fan, like them get out of there. But then it was totally not that at all. It was them being infiltrated by, the assassin, and then Extraction was them making it out of that situation. So yeah, totally misjudged those titles there.
Yeah, I mean, I could be too. Like, I'm just seeing what it feels like it's playing out as, right? I don't think, there's still a lot of story. There's still the, Hemlock. There's still, there's still Omega. What's going on with that? We're going to see, we still got to see Cad Bane somewheres around here because we saw him in the trailer, right? There's a whole bunch of stuff. And, we're running out of episodes. So
like I said, I think that's the beauty of it. I mean, it's starting to come together. I just hope they finish it correctly and we get where we want to be.
Yeah. But we do have one more episode there to get into, and I have some predictions for the end of that I don't want to get too much into yet until we talk about that episode.
Well, sounds like a good segue to me.
All right. I guess I'll segue into that one. Episode 8, Bad Territory, directed by Nate Villanova, written by Matt Michnovitz. Fee, who has been asked by the Batch to make inquiries about Empire's M-Count project, reports that bounty hunters have been hired to search for subjects featuring that special trait. Believing that Fennec Shan may know the answer, Hunter and Wrecker decide to seek her out, leaving Omega and Crosshair on Pabu. While Shan knows nothing herself, she refers them to another bounty hunter who might, in exchange for them helping her capture her current target, Siler Saris. Yeah. After an arduous hunt, they bring Saris down, but Shan secretly betrays the batch, of course. On Pabu, Crosshair refuses to talk about the trauma he's endured on Tantus, which impairs his sniping skills. Omega helps him overcome his handicap by teaching him meditative techniques.
I feel like that part didn't even happen in the episode. Like, it shows the meditative techniques, but we don't know if it helped him or not.
No, that's it, right? Like, I think I read something else too. It was like, he's healed from his thing because he's meditating and doing the stuff that Omega learned from a Jedi. I'm like, okay, so I guess he's healed now.
Huh.
Maybe they should have put like Omega tries to help him overcome.
Yeah. Or like maybe there was a part that I missed where it shows him like using his hand and it's better or something. I don't know.
If you missed it, I missed it too. So
I think we all missed it.
Because I'm sure the episode ended with them closing their eyes and the camera panning away or the frame panning out. So that was it. But he was healed right there.
For sure.
All right, so you have some theories.
So yeah, the things that I was thinking of is the bounty hunter that she ends up talking to at the end, because of course she sort of backstabs them, is either Cad Bane or Ventress.
I don't think it's Ventress.
I don't think it's Ventress either.
No.
I'm sorry to say, but I think Ventress is the bigger likelihood.
I have my theories as well.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys want to go through yours first, or
I think it might be. I have a feeling it might be Hemlock.
No, I don't think it's Hemlock.
No, because it's a bounty hunter for sure.
I don't think it's Hemlock.
Yeah.
I think if it comes to me, it's going to come down to either two people. It's going to come down to either, and not necessarily bounty hunter. Either she's going to help them by finding Boba Fett, who would kind of know about Ventress because he worked with Ventress before.
Well, at this time, Boba Fett would be in the Sarlacc, I would imagine.
No, this is before A New Hope.
Oh yeah, it's before.
Okay,
yeah.
And Boba Fett is still on the fairly young side, but at this point had worked with Ventress on the Clone Wars series. So technically, he could be there. He could sit there and give information on her. How much he knows about the M count stuff, I do not know. But maybe he knew something because he did see her wield a lightsaber. The one I would be excited for if they had him show up, Quinlan Vos. Because Quinlan Vos has been on the move, has been out. He has been a bounty hunter in the past with Ventress. Spoiler alert. And he could be doing some of that on the side now, as he's hiding from the order, so to speak.
Okay.
And nobody would know better than him what's going on, because he knows what an M count is and he knows all about Ventress. I mean, he could go back and he could definitely see some flashbacks of the two of them working together, which I would be excited to see, and talk about her saying, "I'm not here to kill you." That would fit into some of the story. So I would be kind of partially excited by that.
Yeah, I can see that.
And remember,
one thing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Just one last thing. That book was based on an arc that was supposed to be done in the Clone Wars cartoon.
Yeah.
They might be able to they might have been able to pull some of that old stuff out of the vault, so to speak, that wasn't scrapped, and make use of some of it.
Mm.
Yeah, but she didn't have hair in Clone Wars, like in any of the art in Clone Wars, I should say.
But again, we're talking about stuff that was that story that didn't end up happening.
Right.
She could have very
Yeah,
well
there was
had
something.
hair.
There was something written for Clone Wars, and they didn't ended up using it. Yeah.
Yeah, so she could have had hair there. We just didn't. And
Yeah, didn't see it.
it carried over into the book, but it didn't carry over into the TV show.
When she was, because in Clone Wars, she was kind of doing the bounty hunter thing then too, right? At the end of the series.
Yeah, she did.
She didn't have hair there. I don't remember.
No, she had like a hooded thing.
The last time I remember,
like she was still bald.
The last time I remember her in Clone Wars was during the Ahsoka episode.
Right.
The one where Ahsoka leaves the Order, and she had the hood. She still had her. She didn't have her dual lightsabers anymore, because when Anakin went to go hunt her down, she's like, "Leave me alone. I'm not trying to bother you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't have my lightsabers anymore.
Yeah.
Yes.
But also, I was gonna say, Cad Bane was also known as like a Jedi hunter, was kind of his thing during the Clone Wars too. So it is highly possible he is involved with this hunting down the M count targets.
I mean,
So
I see it as a possibility, but I see him taking and trying to twist that into him actually capturing her rather than him giving them information.
Well, that's why, like at the end of that too, Fennec was like, "I can give you what I have," or something like that. Basically, sounding like, "I'll give you where their location is to go."
Yeah.
Either see them or try to capture them or do whatever, or I don't know.
Which, I don't know. That's why I'm slightly interested in the possibility of Quinlan Voss, because there's somebody who would be in hiding for the most part, whether outside of maybe, like I said, his name being dropped in the Obi-Wan show as helping the Underground Railroad, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I mean, again, don't take my word for that. I could be way off. Obviously, I probably am, but I would love to see it.
Well, I think at this point, like Quinlan Voss being in something other than Clone Wars a couple times, or however many times, a couple times, the TV show or the cartoon, like at this point, it would be nice to see him. Like it'd be a good reveal. You know what I mean? Like we're not looking for any Quinlan Voss series, or I mean, it'd be cool, but at this point, like if not in this series, let's see him in Tales of the Jedi or Tales of the Sith or whatever it is with Ventress, right?
Yeah.
That would be cool too. But he's got to be coming. He's got to be coming at some point.
Does he appear in those Jedi games, the Fallen Order and Survivor? Because that would be a good place for them to maybe bring him in.
No,
I don't think so.
he doesn't show up there.
That would be, but yeah, that'd be an interesting place.
Where paths would cross, I don't know.
Yeah,
but I mean, I couldn't rule out the possibility of it. I mean, I don't think it would really kill any storylines or anything, because we don't know a lot about him to begin with. But yeah, I just don't. At this point, I just don't see it happening, because yeah, it just doesn't feel like it would fit.
well, it just seems to me kind of a fairly similar story, like a Jedi on the run, kind of doing their own thing, you know.
Again,
or a Jedi survivor. Sorry,
again,
on the run.
Why I say, yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so any other things you guys want to throw in on this episode?
I don't know. Was the what's his face there? Siler Saris. Have we seen him before? Or is that a new
I don't think so. He was kind of cool.
Yeah.
He was
He
kind of
seemed
neat.
kind of familiar, but maybe not
Felt
so
like a new
much.
character to me. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought that whole sequence though,
sure.
like on the planet they were looking for, like they were trying to be stealth. You know, then they found his hut, and then they're trying to be stealth, and then like the big lights were like beaming in there. I'm like, shut your lights off. What are you doing? Like, you're not being very stealth. Like,
I thought those alligator crocodile things were very like whimsical. Like it didn't feel like they were actually in danger. It was like
you're never in danger when Wrecker's around, by the way. So.
Well, it was kind of like I don't know, like Tom and Jerry cartoon style fighting or something, like throwing them off and stuff. I'm like, what is going on here?
And like on the back of his shoulder, like just like taking the tail, like
yeah, and they're like I don't know, they just looked really like comical rather than dangerous.
yeah, it's true.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Wrecker jumps in and jumps on its head, like when it takes Hunter down, like just jumps right in on his head, like oh. It's like it felt like a bigger crocodile Dundee, just like tackling the crocodiles.
Yeah.
But
so
yeah, I don't know.
I thought that part was kind of fun.
Like it was a pretty decent episode. Like it was, I much preferred 6 and 7 over the 8, but
I like Fennec. It was cool to see her again. Like I like Fennec Shand as a character, so it was cool to see her, and yeah.
I mean,
her being herself.
Yeah, I'll say it didn't feel like a. I mean, if we want to be technical, yes, it was a filler episode, but it didn't feel like a filler episode because we're still trying to. It's still trying to push the narrative at the same time. So I understood why the episode had to be there.
Yeah, the narrative is still going. Yeah, like to me, a filler episode would be like in the Clone Wars, where it's just like some random episode off the narrative. Like it's
yeah.
We did kind of have a filler episode with that the Crosshair and Hunter bonding episode with the worm. I feel like that was kind of a filler episode, but it did serve the purpose of sort of gapping that that period where they don't trust Crosshair into the part where they do trust Crosshair. So
yeah,
I guess it served that purpose, but mostly just a filler episode.
Yeah, pretty much. That being said, I mean, I don't really have much more to say about it myself. I don't know what you guys have to say.
Oh, was that Greedo, you think, that she was hanging out with at the bar? No, same species, but I didn't think it was him either.
Honestly, it seems like there was a lot of that species. They were bounty hunters or whatever it is,
Nemoidians.
Nemoidians.
Yeah, Nemoidians.
Yeah,
it was just funny.
I feel like Greedo would have been a little more aggressive.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and he's like his clothes are a bit different, like a little bit more like looking like a soldier kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we got through it all, guys. Kind of covered a little bit of everything. I mean, a lot of news going on. Acolyte trailer once again came through. Like I said, don't get me wrong. I do want to see this show. I'm looking forward to it, but there are some things that have me a little worried. Just gotta keep stressing that. Outside of that, any other things you guys want to add in before we go off?
Yeah, not really. I feel like, yeah, that what's her name?
Headland.
Leslie Headland. I hope to hear as little as possible from her. That's about it. That's about it.
Well, there's gonna be some behind the
Each
scenes
time there was
stuff.
like an article with her, I was like, oh man, like I'm really not liking this lady.
We're just getting warmed up, man. We're just getting
Yeah.
warmed up.
We're gonna see a lot more of her probably in the next couple months.
Yeah. All right. How about you, Andy? Anything else you want to add in, or?
Nah, man. No,
Okay.
I think we're good. I think we covered a lot. So
Yeah, so do I. That being said, hey, I mean, we're 6 episodes into this new season. I think we're doing well. Looking forward to episode 7 in a couple weeks. Cover a couple more episodes of the Bad Batch. Who knows what other exciting news we're gonna have coming up in that time. Hopefully we will have some really good news come up in that time. But being said, hey, thank you again for stopping by. Those of you that stopped by on Twitch. Those of you that don't know where to find us, I mean, obviously we can be found on YouTube at the Shadow Collective Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at TSC_SW Podcast. Instagram also TSC_SW Podcast. And don't forget, we're now on Spotify as well. We've been really excited about that, and we're going to keep putting episodes up there. If you get a chance, get on there. Definitely give us a listen.
And a rating. Make sure
rating,
you
guys.
give us a rating on there,
people
guys.
the show. So
yeah, I mean,
yes.
I mean,
Same with YouTube. If you go on there, like and subscribe, guys. If you don't like, then and you watch it, then looks bad in the algorithm. So make sure you hit that like button, guys.
Yeah, we definitely want to hear back from you guys. We want to know, hey, if you like what we're doing. We want to know if you don't like what we're doing, what do we do? What do we need to change? Because I mean, we're here. We're looking to have fun, but we also realize that we're still learning as we go. So
yeah, let us know in the comments, everybody. Let us know.
So once again, thank you all for taking some time out of your day to either watch or listen to us, and we'll hope to see you soon in the next couple of weeks on the next episode of Shadow Collective, and may the force be with you.